brother.
Soon, our videos are going to have scents coming out of them. Like floral.
Stop.
Daffodils.
Stop.
We have a big group, potentially a big group to present to.
Should be 40, hopefully.
Okay. I think we lead with appreciation and gratitude for their partnership as a bank as a whole.
Yeah. Maybe I give a story about how Crowley introduced us to Keith. And then maybe you highlight the renewal process, and then maybe I'll talk about the PMI commercial we just did.
Perfect. We've got 2 calls that we need to make. One to Billy Sene, who owns the Sene Company, and to give him a referral. There's a gentleman in Texas who wanted to talk to you and I for about 10 minutes about marketing ideas.
Cool, awesome.
Where he was talking a little bit about all the advertising and the things he does that is not generating the return that he was hoping for.
Love it.
You want to call Billy first? Hey Billy, Matt and Zach from G&N. We're driving in the car right now, giving you a call. Real quick, we have one of our property manager partners who works in South Boston has a lead. We're pumped to give you the referral. We're going to connect you via email to Jonah Berry, who owns Bridge Property Services in Southie, and she can facilitate the introduction to her client who owns the 6-unit condo.
Great referral.
Hey Justin, it's Matt and Zach from G&N.
How you doing?
Are you more focused on personal lines, commercial lines?
Personal lines. As far as a focus, I would say we're more of a generalist if we focus on personal lines.
It's kind of one of the main things that we would do or what we would have done differently. Is that your first question, kind of?
Yeah.
Looking back, we don't regret anything. We certainly wouldn't have necessarily done anything major different. I think what we figured out 2 or 3 years in was that it was essential to be hyper-focused on your bullseye and only do that. And we punted a lot of other good opportunities.
So you're saying to focus on a niche, sort of like to have some direction towards one particular thing that you become the so-called expert at.
Exactly.
I think one thing that we would take a look back and say we could have done earlier, perhaps, is really take a deeper look into what we were best in the world at and what we only wanted to do. So it sounds like you want to grow a team. It sounds like you want to add people to the team. I think that's really easy to do because you should just list off every single thing you do in the day and take a look at what needs to be removed first and start creating a job role.
Wow. Look at this crew.
See you guys. These guys.
I love it.
Too good looking. Let's
Yeah.
go there.
A lot of the guys are using you, and we love your service and everything that you're doing for us. Why don't you take a couple minutes and
Thank you.
Yeah. So we really love being part of the Leader Bank kind of crew. It's definitely one of the best operations out there, and it's mainly because of the people that are involved. So
I think first we start by how we got here. So when Matt and I opened up, and it was a really small, like little closet. We had a lot of pepperoni pizza and scotch, and we had no focus on helping buyers get to closing like we do now. But then we kicked it off with Keith, had a great chat with him, and it kind of redeveloped our whole focus. We realized that we could be an integral part of his system. So what we really do well is help buyers of residential and commercial real estate get to closing. Anything else, we refer out, because that's not what we do.
one thing that we do, we think that's completely different than anyone else in the industry, anywhere in the country, is we take a really proactive approach on renewal. So let's say Keith refers Joe Smith to us, he bought his first house, comes up to renewal. Most people just get their coverage pages in the mail or get an email saying your policies are renewing, nothing you have to do. In our case, we like to take a proactive approach. We review the file, anything changed throughout the year. If we flag it if premiums increase a certain percent. If we reach out to Joe and we say, hey Joe, what's changed in life? How can we help you? Have you met with a financial planner since you bought the house? Is it good to refi? Do you have friends or family that's looking to purchase in the near future? If they say anything of the yes, we go back to Keith, who referred him originally, and we make that introduction. But additionally, let's say they ask for financial advisor, we could easily just refer our network. We refer your network.
But we got in touch with Keith and we said, like, what is the driver? Why would someone refinance? And we did this Facebook commercial.
We're not mortgage professionals, but we know the best in the state who can help. Click the link below. We'd be happy happy to introduce you.
That's getting some traction. We're putting a good amount of money behind it to just put it out there. We got 1 lead already, and we've only had it up for 4 days. So we're trying to reinvest all of our dollars and all of our marketing efforts into what helps you guys grow.
The opportunity and the tools with social now and video is unlike it's ever been in the past, and we, especially Zach, has spent like a majority of his time investing in learning about those tools and how to leverage them very effectively. I think the main point to take away is that we're constantly trying to invest in your profession. Any questions off of any of that? Or?
What states do you guys insure?
We're in all of New England and Florida. Yeah,
Who
right.
do you generally write with? Commerce?
So that's a great question. We have 26 different markets. We get a lead in from Keith and Carrie, for instance. We take that lead and we shop it with everybody. The people who are shopping the policy make $0 on commission. So they don't care which market it's placed with. It's listen to the client, figure out what they need, find the lowest price if that's what they want.
Another way to look at it too is every carrier has a niche, and so we align and get appointed from those carriers specifically for that. We know which carrier to put that with, and that's kind of the value that we bring that's compared to anyone else.
What about flood insurance then? Do we call you for a quote or?
So we do a lot of flood, especially right now. I mean, a lot of people are calling and looking for that because they're heightened concerns. But we have a program for realtors across the state of Massachusetts where they just email the address of the property in question to flood@insurewithgn.com. They get back a proposal that shows the flood determination, whether it requires flood insurance or not, and how much the cost is going to be for both home and flood. Whether they're selling the property and we'll ever get the referral or not, it's a way for us to add value to the realtor community.
We have some heavy list agents that use it, and we work with their buyers as well. And flood insurance is getting more creative.
There's a lot of change that's going to happen, and there's a lot of interest in the insurance community of diving into flood because they see the commotion, they see the disruption. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks guys.
For having us in.
Appreciate
We'll,
your partnership, appreciate your time.
Yeah,
It's great.
we'll follow up with bobbleheads.
Great presentation.
Yeah,
And everything that you say is right. You know, you have to ask the questions. I have a daughter who's away in Manhattan. She goes to school, so she should qualify for the student away.
Yeah.
Another one that's an A student in high school, I should get the
Good student.
You got to ask the question. Whereas
Yeah.
you guys are proactively saying, look, let me show you how I can save you some money.
A lot of times we're insuring more value than you'll ever invest with financial advisor. Anyways.
All right,
Thank
good
you.
seeing you
Thank
guys.
you, Dave.
Thanks
Appreciate
again
it.
for everything.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
If they don't already have it. If they had it and they were grandfathered in with a lower rate because the zone was different in the past in the 80s or 90s when they bought it originally, it'd be a benefit, but
Yeah.
there's no change if the buyer buys it versus the seller and then sells it.